Let's talk about the Groove Calligraphy workbooks. Have you seen their Facebook ads? Because I was intrigued, so I bought them. I'm going to give you my honest review today and how I use these for my homeschooling students. And so you know that I know what I'm talking about. I bought these books back in 2022. We have been using them now for 3 years. And if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Erica Lynn, and it's my hope to help make homeschooling easy for you too. So my favorite thing about these books is how they have actually made teaching my children how to write their letters easier and less painful for me as the teacher. When you buy these workbooks, you get 4 books. There are a couple of them I use a lot and a couple of them I don't. My favorite 2 books are the alphabet and the number books because that's what I need my student to learn in kindergarten and 1st grade. As well as we will continue to review how to write your letters and numbers correctly for several years up through about 3rd grade when their handwriting really gets solidified. This kit also comes with the pen that you need to use and refills. This is really important because this is disappearing ink, and so without this ink, the book doesn't work. So I love that they give you lots of extras. They also give you a squishy pad that helps your students put their hands and fingers in the correct position while they are writing. It is shaped like a fish. You slide this onto the pen. It fits tightly. Then you're going to place your thumb and pointer finger on the top fins of the fish. So you're pinching from the top. You're going to rest your second finger knuckle underneath the fish, and it fits in these 2 little grooves. So it slides right between them. There are grooves on the fish that hold your fingers into the proper position, and this helps students learn how to hold their pens and pencils correctly. Don't get me wrong, my kindergartners do not want to use this, but I do force them on a regular basis, not every time, to make sure they are being reinforced how to hold their pen or pencil correctly.
So for those who have not seen this before, what Groove does is it puts grooves or divots inside the paper. This is a thick, foamy kind of paper. I can place my pen inside these grooves and trace them to make sure I'm making the correct letter formation every single time. Because as we all know, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. And if I am practicing writing my letter S incorrectly every single time I write it, that's how I'm going to learn it. So this method makes sure I'm making the correct shape every single time. What I do find with my kids is I still have to make sure they start the lines in the correct place and move in the correct direction and the correct order. So on T, we want to be following line 1 is down and line 2 is across. And some students may start at the top and go over, down, back up, simple things like that. So I still monitor that, but once I know they're making the correct lines in the correct order, I don't have to sit and watch and make sure that every letter is formed correctly because they are being guided. Their pen is being guided to stay inside the grooves. And that is why Groove Calligraphy is so amazing, and that's a quick little demonstration of how it works.
I'm going to open up the numbers book to give you a little insight. What I really like about this book is how they give you clear instructions. As well, they give you lots of practice spaces. To be honest, by the time my student has finished filling out the entire section for each letter or number, the ink is already disappearing from the top. So in practice, we don't fill out all of the rows. Maybe we fill out 1 or 2 rows. To do it all at the kindergarten level, I have found to be fatiguing for my students. Now, looking through this book a little more thoroughly, I will show you this. On the back side of each number or letter page, they have a fun activity. However, we do not find these to be useful. I cannot color with the different colors because all I have are black pens. Now, Groove Calligraphy may sell different colored disappearing inks, or you could just color it one time and not use it again and not make it reusable. Those are options. We've just opted not to use the page at all. The other problem with the back sides of the pages is they're very bumpy from the letter system or the number system on the reverse side. So it's not very pleasant to color, but that doesn't matter to us at all because we didn't buy the book for the back sides. We bought the book just for the letter and number practice. The second book we use all the time is your regular alphabet book. I have the exact same love and dislike from the numbers book. Lots of practice for the letters, more than we actually need. The back sides of the pages, again, not very user friendly, so we don't even worry about those. We just move on, we copy our letters, and that's exactly what I need it for. The final two books are a cursive book, which I do think is great. This makes it super easy for my students to learn how to write cursive without having to buy a whole nother curriculum for it. So we have used this when we get to the third grade level, but I don't stress on it too much. The final book is a drawing book. I think this one's really fun. To be honest, we haven't used it hardly at all, maybe 1 or 2 times. They have the steps of how to draw each animal. So there's a cat, there's an elephant, there's a dog, and a pig, and it takes you through. I think this is a really fun idea. I think other students will probably use it more than mine, but we just have not used this in our playtime very much, although I do love the idea of it. My homeschool student review of this product is mostly that in our regular homeschool curriculum we use, at the beginning of every year, kindergarten through 3rd grade, we review how to write each letter correctly. And the instructions are to sit next to your student and watch them make the letter and be sure they do it in the correct order and the correct direction so that they're drawing their lines down and not up. And so I can do that. However, as a teacher, that can take a lot of time for the students to get through even just 10 repetitions of each letter. And so I have been using these books. I can watch them write the first letter and make sure they're going the correct directions and writing it in the correct order. Then they can do it on their own, following the grooves without me having to correct every single time. So as a homeschool parent, this workbook has been a huge stress saver for me. And I can get up, walk around the house, do some dishes or something while my students do their practice time every day in the morning. So overall, these Groove Calligraphy books have been a huge win for my family and specifically for my homeschool student, not because it's changed the amount of work that my homeschool student has to do, but because I don't have to sit next to them and correct every single thing that they practice. The grooves in these books self-corrects to make sure they are making the correct shape. I just have to oversee and make sure they are drawing it in the correct way and order the first 1 or 2 times. I totally recommend this to anybody who is teaching a kindergartner or even all the way up through 3rd grade, and you are reviewing these probably at the beginning of each school year. And so I will link their website in the description below. I hope this is a blessing to you and that this helps make homeschooling easier in your household. And if you are curious about these letters, then you are probably working with a student who is learning how to read. And I think you should check out this video about all 44 letter combinations. There is a simple copy chart that I have used with my kids, and I have them fill it in every day to help them memorize the different letter combinations that all make the same sounds. And so check that out. See if that would be helpful to your student. And if you've made it to the end, would you please put a heart in the comments? That just means the world to me to know that I have helped somebody and this has been useful to them. I hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks so much.